Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Scaramouche. Now Scaramouche is very careful and usually nothing would get past him, but it almost did today because there was this guy who would snatch you from his side while he's shopping and had attempted to kidnap you until Scaramouche turned around, immediately noticing your absence after 2 minutes. Wyan? Wyan, where are you? He yelled out, looking around only to find that guy holding you against the wall and trying to tie you up. Instantly, he delivered a strong kick to him, making him fall to the ground. And the rest was history. You had closed your eyes, looking away, and Scaramouche was grateful because he was not going to be merciful. Not one bit. Especially with such an undeserving scumbag. When he felt like he was done with him, he immediately turned to you, cupping your face in his hands. Are you alright, darling? I am, Scaramouche. Thank you. He answered gratefully, and he held you in his arms, just wanting the reassurance that you were there with him. Venti? Now. Venti was very careful and always made sure to take his best care of you. But sometimes, some things would slip right from under his nose. But that didn't mean he would catch on later. Because then, he felt something go wrong. Maybe it was his senses, maybe it was his archon powers, you would never know. But then immediately he found you. And there you were, being held at gunpoint by a fatui skirmisher. You were trying to talk to them, it appeared. But Venti saw no purpose for that, making them float far away. He was going to deal with them later on his own. But then he pulled you into his arms. Are you alright, Mayan? Mm-hmm. You nodded, still trembling. And he just stroked your back gently, trying to reassure you that you'll be okay. He took you home after. And as for that fatui skirmisher, he was going to deal with them and make sure they learn their lesson and that they never ever come close to you again, or anyone in that manner. Xiao? Xiao's actually careful to avoid trouble and avoid interacting with humans when it was unnecessary. But this was not some unnecessary situation. This was you, and it was a matter of saving you. He would save anyone if they were in that situation, of course, but it even mattered more to him, because right now, it was you who was in trouble. And he felt like his heart was racing. He was kind of scared that he might have been hurt, that he might have even gotten a second too late to the scene, but thankfully that was not the case. He immediately fought the fatui skirmisher that was actually threatening you, and he was more than glad that they had given up, apologized, and ran away, hoping that this will be a learning moment for them. But as he turned around and saw you cry, he almost wanted to hit them again. He held you in his arms gently, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. You're safe, Mayan. You're alright. I've got you. I know, Xiao. I know. You melted into his arms, closing your eyes and letting him hold you close, because that's all you needed right now. Tighnari? Tighnari actually is very fierce when it comes to being protective of you and of anyone, especially anyone who was in the forest, because he was tasked with protecting them. And for this treasure hoarder to try and threaten you there, oh, he was not having it. Hey you, get away from her, he had yelled, and if you didn't know him very well and were familiar with that tone, you would have been terrified. But he knew that anger was not directed at you in any way. He was going to teach that guy a lesson, a very well one, because then he had shooted an arrow into his leg so he wouldn't be able to run away. Since the treasure hoarder seemed so keen on fighting, he was going to give them a fight. But a very quick one. So, with them being unable to move away and do anything useful, he then held you into his arms, gave you a soft kiss, and told you to go home. As for the treasure hoarder, well, maybe Cyno would have even been kinder on them. That's how scary Tighnari could be. So you could only imagine, and he certainly did not want to see that. Albedo? Now, Albedo's usually very forgiving, very patient, very calm, but whoever tried to kidnap someone surely did not have an excuse to do so. So there was no reason for him to be calm or patient. You will get away from her right this second, before you make me do something that I won't regret. The guy was startled, albeit his voice was ice cold, and so was his gaze. And immediately, he put his hands up and started walking away, hoping that Albedo wouldn't chase after him. And he didn't, because he immediately ran into his arms, crying softly, and he didn't have the heart to leave you alone. He took you home then, whispering reassurances into your ear all the way, and holding you close, an arm around your waist. And once you arrive home, he does a very good job of spoiling you and making you feel safe. Cyno, God forbid someone tries to hurt you while Cyno was in the equation here. Because if Cyno sees someone doing something wrong, they know they may not very well live to see the next day, let alone someone tried to kidnap his beloved. Oh, they were in for a whole lot of trouble. And Cyno made sure they got the payback they needed. It was effortless for him. Just another day of casting his own judgment upon those of the unworthy of being in this realm with him. But then he was so tender for the rest of the day. You were scared and a little bit on edge. That experience seemed to give that to people. But he was right there with you, telling you, I'll always keep you safe, Boyan. You've got to trust me on that. No matter how it may seem, you'll always be safe as long as I'm around. And with how things went that day, you trusted him more than anything.